Alright, y'all, here we are in the garage. Today, I'm going to be taking apart my rear coaster hub and re-greasing. Because the coaster brake challenge is coming up here, and I haven't re-greased the hub in probably about a year since the last coaster brake challenge. And it's very sticky and gets hot real quick. So, I bought some grease I haven't tried before. Extra heavy duty grease. Doesn't say anything about a temperature rating except when you actually read it. Has basically a melting high point of 560 degrees, which most high temp greases are only 500. And this also says something about high speed bearings. I plan on going fast, so see if this shit works. Here is the bike. For those of you who don't know, this bike frame was built by Paul. I won it in a raffle. Then I gave it back to him and had him paint all kinds of funky whatever the hell he wanted. So it's quite a piece of art. Paul's seat post clamp. Paul's seat post itself. Old hard leather saddle. I got a Bendix Red band in the back here. I'm gonna try to put a proper coaster brake cooler that I have on an old Shimano hub there. I don't know if the diameter is the same, but we'll find out. Old profile cranks pulled off my 20-inch FBM. Built up a profile front hub. Right now I have that front brake on there, trying to save my rear hub. But that's gonna have to come off for the challenge. Some funky titanium bars. I don't know what they are. I got from a buddy of mine, this little guy. This way I can make sure all the dogs get out of my way. Usually don't wear gloves, but for this kind of project here, everything is just full of grease. Did buy myself some gloves. Oh, I just have a caliper gauge here. Checking the hub diameter to see if I can use that proper coaster hub cooler, so we'll see. Just remember to have a Shimano hub body. Ooh, way different. So the Bendix hub, about 43 millimeters. The Shimano hub, I'm reading about 38. So I will not be able to use that hub cooler just yet. I will definitely probably file it down or grind it down, make it work to get to the right size so I can use it on this Bendix, because it does work on a Shimano hub. I noticed Shimano hubs are very sticky, and I put that proper hub cooler on there and it lasted a lot longer. Took it down a few pretty big mountains, and yeah, did notice a big difference.
before I forget here.
So I don't have any American size, whatever these things are called, wrenches here. So I'm using a 19 and a 22. It does the job, but it's not the exact fit. I've only done this hub a few times, and pretty much forget how it works every single time, so I just take it apart and wing it. I'm just a guy messing around in his garage over here, so if you have any better ideas, or if I'm doing more than I need to, please let me know. Still has some grease in it here. It's not looking too bad considering. Felt pretty clunky. I had a mixture of the coaster culture grease and regular high temp grease. Ooh. Here we go. So this hub's pretty worn out. These pads have definitely seen better days. Pretty much no life left on these things. But I'm gonna put them back in because it's all I got. So I'll try to look online. Unfortunately, with this Red band, it's a great hub. I really like the way it feels, but can't find parts for them. So if anybody has a Connect for Bendix, please let me know. This grease actually held up really well. Pretty surprised how much is left in here. Just didn't have any left. Paul gave me a little bit last time I saw him. Just try to clean this stuff off pretty decent. I mean, going to have to do this again. It's a few months here. The first race series in January, and by the second race, your rear hub's pretty much gone. So try to do it again between the second and, the first series and the second race series in the summer. I think July, maybe around July is when he does it. Super fun time though. One of these pads is a lot worse than the other one. I don't know if you can see that, but maybe one was sticky, I don't know. Kind of just got into this coaster brake thing because of Paul, so I'm no pro. I know a lot of these guys have been into not clunkers but cruisers, which all usually have coaster brakes and or single speed, but shit's just too much fun. No, I never really remember how this stuff goes back together. I kind of just guess. Seems to work. I feel like there's more parts inside of the Shimano hub than the Bendix. I feel like I need to retrofit maybe a small, I don't know, little piece of rubber or some kind of a seal would be ideal. Most of the grease comes right out of this. If you could have even the smallest rubber seal that would allow this to spin, there might already be something that I just don't know about. Man, that would be killer. This is great. Old bearings. They even tell you on the race this side out, because you know a lot of people have pulled things apart and they put the flat part of the race on the inside. I know a lot of guys with the Shimano hubs pull these apart and just add an extra bearing to get rid of this metal race. On the Shimanos, they tend to destroy themselves and you go to pull it apart anyway and the race is blown out. But this one seems to work fine, so I'm gonna keep it going. Again, heavy duty grease. I have no idea how this stuff's gonna work. Hoping it works pretty decent. It's definitely thinner than that coaster culture stuff. That grease was gnarly. That's why I cut it. I was like, I don't know if they run that stuff just the way it is. That shit was thick as hell. But it's also rad that somebody actually kind of made a grease for coasters for heat. Because I mean, the Coaster Brake series is wild. Just riding things that you shouldn't ride with a Coaster Brake bike. It's fun as hell, but I mean, we pass guys with downhill bikes, full face helmets, straight goofballs. There were a bunch of guys on piece of shit old bikes, just having fun. This grease also says it's not supposed to fling out of the hub on a car. So let's see. I really hope that this stuff works good because nothing else does. Alright, so everything's cleaned off, all greased up here. Gonna stack this stuff in. Gotta put the clutch in there and then spin the cog to grab it. Make sure the shoes are aligned in in a little groove. So they are. And more grease. Just gonna try to push it between the brake shoes. There's 2 little slots there. Just get whatever I can inside that thing. Okay, something is missing here. Rubber piece. Go. That's it, that feels good. I'm sure the lighting is pretty bad, so sorry about that. But I put barely any pressure on that thing. Like I said, I like to ride it. Yeah, like to ride it some. I'd rather have it a little bit loose. Feels a little notchy right now. It's alright. Bearings gotta get, grease has gotta get worked in there, and feels alright right there. So I'm gonna Sub's got a lot of play in it, like I said. I'm pretty sure those pads are just so worn out. Still does the trick, but ta-da! Always clean your tools. Just make sure to really clean this up real good, you know. Screw is way too long, this bolt. But one day I'll cut it. Not today. Right now I'm running a 34-20 for a gear ratio. Just fine for around town and some local stuff, but we'll be changing it out for the coaster brake challenge. I usually run like about 28 in the front, I think is what it is. BMX chain ring. It's pretty tight there.